friends, this is not one little piece of seed mail. This is 4 seed haul packages from Baker Creek. I am over the moon excited and also kind of embarrassed. So I've got 2 packages here that are recent orders and the 2 that were from August. I can't believe it. It's kind of sad because I kind of missed an opportunity to plant something, but it's going to be useful for next summer or next spring. So I don't even remember what I ordered, and that means I might have duplicated an order. I guess I'll just feel a little bit more generous when it's time to put out seeds, and not feel quite so hindered. Like, am I the only one who feels like if I open up that seed packet that it's now like ruined? I like to have a backup seed packet of almost every variety I get, so I guess it doesn't, no harm, no foul. But I've got 4 packages. Let's crack into these and see what I got. I'm going to go ahead and start with the ones from August first, and then I will do the 2 that I ordered in October. So these 2 right here are from August, and then these 2 here I ordered from late October. So I'm going to do the tiny one first. It looks like it's a postcard. That's why they got misplaced. They were actually mixed in with junk mail that I wasn't quite sure was 100% junk mail, but it wasn't important stuff. And then I was going through the junk drawer and I went, oh my gosh, I actually have some seeds in here. So good thing they didn't accidentally get thrown out because they're so tiny. Let's open up this one here first and see what we got. Oh, I do remember ordering a bunch of primroses. So I actually grow common evening primrose, which are like the gigantic, giant, they're just giant. They're beautiful native flowers. A lot of people consider them weeds, as to, they do consider a lot of things weeds that are actually like very beneficial. So we'll do more on that later. But I do grow those and I have so many seeds. I think I have like just like thousands and thousands of common evening primrose seeds. And those flowers at first, so they are biennial. And when I planted them, like, I wasn't quite sure what I had growing in my garden. I was like, what is that? And I thought maybe it was some kind of like green. And good thing we didn't eat them. Thinking that they were like lettuce or something. But they looked like they were some kind of like, almost like a collard green or something. But the leaves were a little bit narrower. And I went ahead and left it. I was like, it's so pretty. Just the greens are so pretty. I was like, just go ahead and leave them and we'll see. And the next year, it burst forth with life. And the stalks were giant. And it was just covered in flowers. It's hard to think that these are related because they look so different. But the common evening primrose is like the wild ancestor of these. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I got. So this one here is the Wanda Mixed Colors Primula, and lots of colors in here. I usually buy my seeds individually. I don't usually do color mixes. This is perennial and zones 4 through 8, or an annual if you're outside those zones. They're short and stout but sweet wildflowers, super cold hardy and will bloom in early spring. Rosette shaped. This is the one I'm talking about. The shape of the plant is rosette shaped. So when the greens were growing from my wild variety, I could tell it was something I planted on purpose because it was just so stinking pretty. If it's allowed to perennialize, it will spread by clumping roots. That's nice for my plant swap, so I can separate them out and then also like share them with my plant groups. That's awesome. So it can be divided in summer or fall. And it can't be biennial. So I wonder, sometimes I wonder like if that means they're going to they're not fruit, but if they're going to flower right away. So with my common evening primrose, they don't flower the first year, they flower the second year. That's usually the case with biennials, but sometimes you get perennials and they flower every year. So this will be an experiment. I will let you know if they seem to flower right away or if they flower year 2, year 3, whatever. Cold stratify for 2 to 4 weeks, which means I'm going to be putting my seed packet in the refrigerator Then sow indoors 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost. Barely cover as light age germination. Transplant outdoors after last spring frost. And it often self-sows. That's nice. And if it self-sows, I would venture to guess that I could also plant these outside instead of putting them in the fridge. And maybe do like a couple weeks before my last frost, or maybe just after my last frost, when it's still pretty cold outside at nighttime. I think I could do that. If it's gonna self-sow, I probably can be a little bit adventurous in planting them outside, but they do need to get cold apparently, so I'll give that a try. I know with the common evening primrose, I did not do anything special. I just planted the seeds and they grew very well. But I did have volunteers, so they like self-seeded. The seeds fell on the ground, and then the next spring they sprouted. So they did, though that batch of flowers actually did overwinter outside in the ground, and then they actually sprouted up in the spring. So I'm going to venture a guess that these are going to be very similar. My next packet is, ooh, that one's beautiful. I don't know how to say this. I'm going to say Pimela cortisoides. Cortisoides. Does that sound right? This is perennial or biennial. Same kind of situation. But these are lilac pink flowers, 8 to 10 inches tall. Stunning when planted in mass. Okay, same deal with cold stratification. That's beautiful. I like that tint. So it's one of the colors that's kind of missing from this other packet. So I did buy some more. And then there's one more packet of evening primrose. These look a lot more like the common evening primrose. This is much more similar to what I see when I grow mine. And mine are actually really that common yellow color, not purple. These are also perennials, pink native wildflower. Oh, this one says it has a great fragrance. The other ones don't say that. So if you're going to buy one of the three, I would probably recommend this one since it does say it's fragrant. 10 inches tall, 18 inches wide. They spread by a shallow root system. It could overtake your garden. So this one could be in kind of, I wouldn't say invasive since primroses are native, but I'd say pervasive. And so I would probably be growing this in a container anyway, but I love that it's going to spread because I can, again, like I said, I'm in part of all these different plant groups, and we do these like plant swaps where we just give away our plants. And it's kind of like a swap because it's kind of like a swap because you're giving away something, and then, but the same person who you got something from might not be the same person you gave something to. So it's kind of like mix and match. But I love that. And then I could give away some things that are spreading. These are beautiful. I kind of wonder if I can do an experiment to kind of cross-pollinate this with my common evening primrose and see what happens. That would be interesting because this would be cool. My common evening primrose are tall. Sometimes they're as tall as a person. So same situation here, cold stratification, etc., etc. Love it. And then the free seed packets I got from this one was the little gem lettuce, which I've gotten before, but I haven't grown yet. So I'm going to go ahead and be generous in my garden and plant a bunch of these little gems. That looks adorable. How cute, right? Let's pop into our second package from August. In the first packet, we've got this Amarillo carrot. And I'm not going to read all the information on all the carrots because I'm sure you're familiar with carrots. This is good for a summer or to fall crop. Lemon yellow roots have sweet, bright yellow flesh. 8-inch roots are crunchy and very juicy. And I'm not going to say the planting instructions on all of them because they will be the same. But use surface sow carrots. It helps if they have even moisture, and don't ever let the seeds dry out. Otherwise they will sprout and die. And they do better in cool weather. And if you let your carrots go too long, they will go to flower, which is beautiful, and you'll have seeds for life. So they are biennial, so they flower in the second year. This is beautiful. So I got the yellow carrots. I also got this manpukuji. Okay, I am butchering that word. So excuse me for that, but look how long those carrots are. Incredible. So if I was container growing these, probably wouldn't get them that long. And you'd want to have really fluffy soil for that, right? Super long carrot from Japan. This variety is sweet, especially when harvested after fall frost, which is true of all carrots, by the way. It says incredible snacking carrot. Fresh eating is great. Can be 2 over 2 feet in length if you're growing it in soft soil. And could be good for your county fair. Good point, actually. Because fairs seem to be all about the size of your produce. And then there's this other package of carrots. It's the Kudiger, and it's a white carrot. I thought that was really interesting, and I was a little captivated by the cup there. It says rare variety that has been kept alive by rural women farmers in Kudigen, Switzerland for over 300 years. Stocky, snow white, Chantenay type with a good long storage potential, fairly low maintenance. So I got this because of what it said about the female gardeners. I thought that was pretty interesting. I also thought, like, if you juice carrots into smoothies and stuff, a white carrot would be really nice. And also, I think it would, like, cook up kind of nice in, like, stews and soups and stuff like that. So that's why I got this variety as well. I know that the orange and purple are higher in nutritional value, but I do like some of our, I like some of the pale stuff too. It kind of is nice if you're like if you're particular about different colors in your food, if you have picky eaters. Sometimes you can trick people into eating something if it's not so noticeable. So I think this is really beautiful. All of them are, actually. And then these came with the free seed packet for this one, were these beautiful pansies, which pansies are always so pretty in the garden. That's kind of a nice free seed gift. And actually, I haven't gotten pansies free before, so that's different. Now, if you order a seed packet from Baker Creek now, if you spend $10 or more and you get your free seeds, they probably won't be the same as what I got in the summertime, because they do tend to have like the same free seed varieties for a certain period of time. So it probably won't be the same as this one. We are into our third seed packet, and this is actually one of the recent ones. I was hinting to you on another video, if you watch my other ones, about a type of seed that it has a religious name in it. It's this one here, the Adventist pole bean. And I actually did buy it because of its name. I grew up in an Seventh-day Adventist home. My mom was Lutheran growing up, and my stepdad was Seventh-day Adventist. So we went to Seventh-day Adventist churches on Saturdays, and I don't consider myself a Seventh-day Adventist anymore. I am a non-denominational Christian. But I thought this is really reminiscent of my childhood, so I went ahead and grabbed one of them. 85 days, cherished by Seventh-day Adventists in North America for its versatility and nutrition. An early maturing dry bean. That's important in Washington State. We really need our dry beans to be early maturing, otherwise they get kind of moldy. They can be eaten young as a snap bean. That means it's very versatile, and I love that. If you can eat it as a pod, in the pod, or also as a dry bean, that's awesome, because Sometimes we run out of days and they don't quite get to full maturity. The 3-inch flat green pods contain 4 to 6 honey yellow beans each, and it has a semi-bush habit. But then it says vigorous long vines need support. So I'm not sure. It says semi-bush habit and then vigorous long vines. So if you have experience planting these, comment below if you see that it does have a bush habit, or do you see it being more vigorous. I would need to know that. I like to grow the scarlet red runner beans. They're my favorite to grow. They're just strikingly beautiful. And I've also grown dragon tongue bean. Those grow very well as well. This here could be bush habit, but also could have long vines. Soaking your beans before you plant them does speed up germination with most beans. You don't have to soak them even for very long. It could be soaking them for overnight or even for a couple of hours. Seems to really help. So I will definitely label these and keep them separate and labeled. I do want to keep track of this variety because it does have that special Adventist pole bean name, and I am nostalgic in that way. I don't know what I'm doing buying any more peppers or tomato plant seeds. That's crazy because I've got like at least 50 to 100 varieties of each, and they take so much extra time planting them indoors 8 to 12 weeks early and keeping track of them for that much time before I can set them out. So I'm kind of crazy, but I went ahead and got this Tunisian Bacloudi pepper. Not quite sure how to say it, but it's gorgeous. This one was actually the free gift, but I'm pleased that it's 75 to 80 days. By the way, that's after the 8 to 12 weeks that you have them inside. So you do plant them 8 to 12 weeks inside first, and then after your last frost, you plant them out. 75 to 80 days after that time is when you can actually start harvesting. This is a traditional pepper of Tunisia, a small country off the Barbary coast. Large red tapering pods have wonderful hot flavor but get milder with cooking, perfect with couscous. And I don't know what that tastes like, but this was actually the free seed gift, so it wasn't my thought. It was the tomatoes here that I bought. So I got the Amalia tomatoes. Aren't those beautiful? Gorgeous. And I got these Rebel Starfighter Prime. Lovely. They're just totally gorgeous. And I don't know what I was thinking buying more tomatoes. But I don't drink, so it wasn't that. This one doesn't say how many days. But it does say sweet saladette tomatoes. So I'm going to infer that it doesn't take as long. And this one here is 80 days. And it's indeterminate. I do like indeterminates. Beautiful, beautiful. Sweet balance of sweetness and acidity. Productive vines. Great for cooking and snacking. So I got these 2 new seed varieties of tomatoes. Despite my logic, I know that I shouldn't be buying any more tomato seeds, but I did. So what are you going to do? Yeah, you can't stop me. Let's get into our last package. So ripped into this last package here, and I am not disappointed. I do have kind of a memory issue. I'll order something and then forget I ordered it. I actually forgot I ordered these onions, but they're beautiful. And they won't go to waste in my home, that's for sure. It's a rare Italian variety. It's a long day type. I don't know much about the long and short day varieties of onions. I just plant everything and it all works for me. Because even if they don't bulb up very nicely, you can always eat the greens as scallions. And or as green onions. And even if the onions are small, they're still edible. So I don't really cure my onions. We don't ever have enough where there's extra. We always eat it all. The onions I tend to save and have year round are the Egyptian walking onions because they're just alive in my garden all year long. But these are the red Florence onions. They're long days, very mild and very sweet. I don't like to start a lot of plants like in trays anymore. I like to like direct sow. It says 8 to 12 weeks in advance of planting out. So I guess that's something to try, but I just direct seed and I haven't had any problems, but I haven't grown this variety either. So got that one. Next up, we have the Jewels of Opar. I actually did the order for this plant. It's a relative of purslane. The leaves are edible. I love growing purslane. It also says that like the arrangements here can be kept as like a floral arrangement kind of thing. If maybe with dry, I'm thinking dried arrangements, but I could be wrong. But it's just so pretty. And when I read that it was a relative of purslane, they sold me right there. So the seed pods in shades of yellow, orange, red, brown, and gray look great in dried arrangements. Yep, so my memory does serve me sometimes. It's a relative of purslane. It grows 2 to 3 feet tall, and it grows in poor soil and can spread out to 3 feet wide. The leaves are used like spinach. It will self-sow and can be perennial in 8 or higher. And I'm in zone 8, so I'm excited about that. It does say it's a perennial and that it self-sows easily. So I hope this will become a weed in my yard. And so beautiful. Jewels of Opar. And then we have, ooh, like I need more corn. But Montana Sunburst, isn't that gorgeous? Wow. It's like a work of art. It's like I got a seed packet of seeds, like of actual like beads or something. 70 to 80 days, each spectacularly colorful 8-inch. Sometimes the ears are small, so I like that it tells us it's an 8-inch ear. That's a lot. All a blast of warm autumnal tones discovered as a chance variation of Papa's White by a grower or breeder, Ed Schultz. He cross-selected, achieving this amazing parching or flower variety. So this is going to be not a sweet corn. This is going to be one that's used for flour. And so that you usually need more time for that. So I'm really surprised by the date. I don't know if they mean 70, 80 days to that milk stage, or if that's going to truly be to the flower stage, which would be at maturity. So I'm going to guess it might need longer than this, but I will let you know when I plant these how long it really takes. The videos actually really help with kind of journaling how long things really take in real life, because I have some kind of record to go back to. And it was grown in Montana. Okay. Direct sowing is always best for corn. I learned that the hard way. Okay, then we also have, this is actually free. This is the free seed packet I got. And I actually almost bought these, so it's kind of funny that I almost bought these and I ended up getting them as my free ones. And I know you want me to say the name of this so that I can mispronounce it and make more of a fool of myself. Aji cherepita. Don't laugh. It's a super tiny pepper from Peru. It can be grown as a house plant. That's adorable. Okay, citrus aroma and is equal in heat to a cayenne pepper. So it's going to be hot. I actually bought a pepper that had pepper plant from a lady who was from like Vietnam, and she said that I bought these plant that looked very similar to these peppers. The lady was from Vietnam, and she said that they were like an Asian pepper, and I don't know or not, because she said that they're called white peppers. They ended up looking like this. Some were yellow, some were red, and they were extremely spicy. I kept them as houseplants for a couple of years before they died. So I think it's cute that they're small enough to grow as a houseplant, and that kind of makes them work for me, because I don't like starting things out really early and then transplanting. I think it just makes a couple extra steps, which is more work. And I have so many plants now that I like to make things a little bit easier on myself. I know that looks like a ton of seeds, and actually it's a lot. It's a lot of seeds. All of this together was about $61 for all of the seeds. So I made a really good bargain here. And if you consider this was from August and October, I think I shared with you some of my September seeds, but I am so pleased with all of these different varieties that I'm going to be adding to my collection, and I will document our journey with growing them in the garden. If you want to see how these grow in my garden, go ahead and click like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments below, of these varieties, which do you think is the most interesting, and what is your favorite variety to grow from Baker Creek. I'll see you next time. Make sure you be good, be sweet, grow a garden if you want to eat, and I'll see you next time. Bye.